bringing science down into the light of people. The science bit is that university bit that I pretend to be a professor about. Thank you, Steve, who's the Dean of our Faculty of Health, and Professor Roger Watson, who have come along from the university to celebrate the fact that we're bringing our science away from our little towers into the community. And of course, Diana is the MP for our university, so I'm really pleased you're here, because between you and Alan, who is our MP for our local clinic, we can now launch this partnership, which is about bringing the best we have right down to you guys here, but asking you lot to tell us how we can do things best.
We both want to pay tribute to Esme and all the clinicians and university staff and the Foundation Trust who have done so much for dementia in this area. I know there's lots of dementia sufferers and their families here, and I want to get a chance to talk to you as well. But Esme really is, she hides her light under a bushel, but she's really been one of the leading lights in terms of tackling dementia. When I opened the clinic in 1999, it's true to say no one realised really what a terrible disease dementia was, and it was people like Esme who were leading the way on this. In fact, 10 years after I opened that centre, I was the health secretary, and we launched our first dementia strategy, which incidentally lasted for 5 years, so it needs to be renewed this year. We now know more than half the people who have dementia have not been diagnosed, and as Esme's been saying for 20 odd years, early diagnosis is the key. And what the government said, and let me pay tribute to this government, we don't often give accolades to this government, but this government were absolutely right. David Cameron was right to make this the focus of the G8 summit, to say there should be more international research to get a cure for dementia. And as part of that, he announced that, in effect, what Esme's been doing in Hull needs to be spread across the country. He didn't put it in those words, Esme, but that's what he really meant.
He used our organisation, actually, didn't he?
And so of the number of sufferers, well over half don't know they're suffering from it yet. The number of people suffering dementia is going to go up by around 30% by 2021. It will go up by around 154% over the next 20 odd years. And this is something now that, in a way, because of the good news that people are healthier and living longer, but this has brought a whole new set of problems with it that have to be resolved. And for the work that Esme's done, I'm so proud of her and proud of this unit in my constituency, and we're proud of the University of Hull. But this takes it to a new dimension, Pride and the initiative on research before that. So it's really great that, as I was saying to a dementia sufferer earlier on when I was having a chat, Hull is the, if you're going to get dementia, Hull's the right place to get it, because we've got services here, we've got the kind of backup here, we can get the early intervention, we can start initiative like, I'm part of the Hull FC Foundation, we have this initiative of Old Faithful, where we take people through Hull FC. For any Hull Kingston Rovers supporters here, I apologise, but the old days of Hull FC and, you know, Cups won, and these kind of initiatives are really, really important. And as Esme always says, it's not so much about drugs, it's about those kinds of therapies and those kinds of social interaction that will help dementia sufferers. So, tribute to Esme and everyone involved. And I'll be involved with this centre as long as I'm around. I might actually be using it at one stage. I'm going to be here as long as Esme and her people are doing their wonderful work. So congratulations to everyone involved.
So while we're here, I also want to do give you another wonderful announcement. Here on the screen is our newest project, just funded from the 1st of January, called Pride. And it's led by our researchers in London, and obviously University of Hull, ourselves, and yourselves, Humber NHS FT. So thank you, Jane. Jane, our chairwoman from the Trust, is here to support us from the NHS end. And this is a 5 million project running from 2014 to 2019. Jane, I promised you I was going to retire when I was 60, but that's going to go on a bit longer now, sadly. And this is
20 years before you're 60.
What? And this is about independence in dementia, how you keep yourselves going like you're doing here. So we will be coming along to most of you in the next 5 years to learn about how you're all keeping proud and well. And this is not just people who have a dementia and their families, but there are many of you who have cared for people with dementia and have learned skills. And I'm hoping through this enterprise we will get some of you to share those skills with other families